So how's it going, motherfuckers? I'm gonna take a look at this Roman Reigns video, do a little reaction. So Sports Illustrated put together a video. I think that's who originally came up with it. And an interviewer walks around outside of an event, but know where it is, and talks to a bunch of geek wad marks about why they hate Roman Reigns. So let's take a look at this. These derelicts of society, these rejects. Let's see what they have to say. And I'll react to each one of the comments.
Why do I hate Roman Reigns? Because he's shoved down our throats the way John Cena was shoved down our throats in the beginning.
Actually, he has not been shoved down our throats like Cena. Cena was catapulted for many years, and I could see why somebody might say that. But the reason why he was shoved down people's throats, so to speak, is a matter of opinion. If you like John Cena, he hasn't been shoved down your throat. You embraced him. If you hate him, he's been shoved down your throat. Roman Reigns, they eased off on the guy almost right away. Did they not give in and give you fuckboy Balor as your champion? Did they not give the belt to Seth Rollins? Did they not make sure that both of those guys beat Roman Reigns? Come on already. I mean, Roman got pinned at SummerSlam. Finn Balor, that little motherfucker, even beat Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins beat Roman for the title. I mean, what more do you people want? You're going to complain about him being shoved down people's... That's not being shoved down your throat. If anything, Vince is, taking it easy on everybody. It could be a lot worse.
He thinks he's really the #1 top guy, but he pretty much doesn't act like it.
Being your YWC champ, I know a little bit of something about this right here. Them goggles on top of his head. Becky Lynch, cuck, motherfucker, talking about somebody that doesn't act like a star. Roman Reigns doesn't act like a star. Not only does he act like a star, he looks like a star. He wrestles like a star. With better writing and creative direction, Roman Reigns, without a doubt, would be your next Stone Cold, your next Rock. I'm not saying that his mic skills would be better than those guys, but this guy gets it done. I mean, this guy conducts himself like a true star. And Mr. Goggles doesn't know what he's talking about, obviously.
He's just been nothing but boring. He has no moves.
He's got no moves. Let me guess. Fuckboy Balor's got all the moves. That stupid baby stomping all over the place like a 3-year-old having a tantrum. The number of kicks and drop kicks and missile drop kicks he does. If you count the number of kicks, I guess you could artificially inflate the number of his moveset. Roman Reigns doesn't have any moves. I mean, if anybody watches a Roman Reigns match and you're telling me that he doesn't have moves, you're not watching the match. You're not being honest. You just don't want him to have moves, but he has moves and you just don't want him to have them. Stop. How about Balor stop doing 1,000 little shitty kicks per match? And then we could talk about Roman Reigns adding some new moves to his moveset. Because that argument, I've been hearing about it. He's added a bunch of moves. He's done a ton of different shit in the ring. It's not all people say, oh, all he's got is the Superman punch. Obviously, if you look at his match, there's more moves than that. Quite a few more. And nobody acknowledges this guy implementing new moves into his arsenal. So once again, we're lying. He's got no moves. This guy, weird. This is who we're going to listen to. Is that Dave Meltzer's son? Come on, I think that's him. Come on, that's Magoo's son.
Real fans, our age, just don't like that dude. I'm sorry.
Real dudes our age this guy looks around the same age as me, wearing a Macho Man shirt. This guy should know a little bit more about wrestling, but he's falling in with the crowd, the same crowd that's being interviewed here. You know, he's, of course, talking about, who's your favorites? I'm sure it's Balor. Sami Zayn should be getting a push. Of course, it's gonna Kevin Owens. It's gonna be the same thing if you ask this guy to go down the list of who his favorites are. So, our age, dude. Most of the people who are our age don't even watch wrestling anymore. So, what the hell is he even talking about? Don't like this dude. Most people don't even watch. The ratings are way down. They struggle to get a 2 million every week. So the argument that nobody likes Roman Reigns, most people probably don't even know about Roman Reigns because they left because this company is terrible, and it's mostly the fault of people like you, the marks, that have scared people away because they keep catering to people like you. Wearing your Macho Man shirt, you should know what it takes to have a successful wrestling company. Come on, you've seen it before. Being that age, you've lived through the Attitude Era, you've lived through the Ruthless Aggression Era. I'm sure you've watched many of the old school things from the 80s, just as I have. So you clearly see that this is not good, and you're saying people don't like Roman Reigns. People would like a guy like Roman Reigns, like I said, if creative was better. But give a reason why people our age would not like Roman Reigns. I mean, you're making a very general statement there. You're just going along with everybody else in the arena, the whole Roman sucks crowd. So, once again, not a very credible person.
Boo, Roman Reigns! Roman sucks! Roman sucks!
Foreigners.
He's just not my cup of tea.
Look at the anime shirt. Look, guys, I like some anime, but it's no surprise coming from a guy like that. Probably watches hentai, most hours of the day. Not my cup of tea. Even the voice. Come on.
Why do I hate Roman Reigns?
You probably can't even answer why.
I don't hate Roman Reigns, I just dislike him strongly.
Well, that's pretty much what hate means, to dislike strongly. And notice the only female in the whole montage is the fattest, ugliest one. Not a coincidence.
This whole whatever he's doing now, it's just not good. Everyone, that's why Braun's so over. Like, everyone's just all about Braun, and everyone's over Roman Reigns.
Dude, half the reason that Braun is over so much is because Roman was having good matches and segments with him to help put the guy over as a monster. So, a little credit there. I mean, it's so stupid. Like, acting like, oh, man, Braun's so dominant. He's doing it by himself. Yeah, sure there, pal. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just not a really big fan of him on the mic.
This is a classic argument. Benoit, the murderer that all you people love to worship. He wasn't great on the mic, but you people love him. And the thing is, the reason why Roman's promos are bad, everybody's promos are bad, because the verbiage is bad. Even Paul Heyman's promos suck. I'll be honest, Roman Reigns' promos the past couple of weeks or so have been better than Paul Heyman's. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, compared to saying the same thing week after week, I'd rather hear Roman Reigns. It sounds fresher than the same shit we've been hearing for 5 years straight.
They keep pushing him to the damn roof.
Yeah, they did push him, but they also pushed Rollins to the roof. Fuckboy Balor to the roof. So, what's the point here? They've also pushed many people who didn't deserve it to the roof, like Nakamurphy, for example, who don't even deserve it. So, you know, you'd have to criticize those people and then come back to Roman, who actually looks like a star.
If nobody wants him there, why keep him there?
Nobody wants him there. Trust me, the ratings would be a lot lower without Roman Reigns. That stupid Mark crowd, the ones that fly in from all over the world to go to Raw to get themselves over and be heard on camera and seen, that is not a correct representation of the people that are giving this show ratings. Because the ratings is what really counts. No matter what the WWE says or how much they try to obscure the facts. You know, Roman draws. They wouldn't keep putting him out there if he didn't, obviously. It's the same thing with Cena. You don't like him, so you're going to tell the story that he's not good for the company. When that's not the case. He's not good for you. But, you know, you and what's good for the company are two different things.
I hate Roman Reigns because he take The Undertaker to the retirement. And I hate him, I boo him.
This is my yard now.
Okay, you hate him because he retired The Undertaker. You do realize that that was a storyline in a match. A fake, scripted match. You know, Roman Reigns and Undertaker, they probably hugged after that match and everything. He didn't retire him. Undertaker might have retired. He's probably going to be back. It's just a storyline, pal. It's so funny how these marks, and even Meltzer Magoo at 57 years old, he still writes from the perspective like wrestling is real. Undertaker didn't retire at WrestleMania. That is a storyline. And to hate Roman Reigns because of that, that's just sad. You know, you're somebody in your 20s being interviewed. It's getting posted on the internet. And now forever you will be remembered as the goofy foreigner guy who thinks that The Undertaker was really, really retired by Roman Reigns. And you hate Roman Reigns because he was instructed in a script to retire The Undertaker. Very sad indeed. But anyway, so the funny thing about this is the, you know, besides the people there, and you see all the Balor Club shirts, and, you know, you see the only female there, you know, is the unattractive one, and what she's got to say doesn't even make any sense. No, you know, not only does she not have brains, she don't have beauty either, not even a hint of it. But I guess that kind of fits in with the whole motif that we're going for here. So Roman Reigns follows it up, totally hating on you marks and making you feel like fools. He has a tweet, and I'll put it up right here. He says, what would you rather do, kids? Would you like to grow up to be like me? A true star, look like a star, wrestle like a star, be perceived as a star? Or would you rather be one of these goofballs out there, you know, acting like this is real, taking it seriously, hating on a man who's just trying to feed his family, you know, trying to obscure facts, you know, and say that this guy is ruining the company when he's probably one of the few reasons that it's still in business. Totally hilarious. When will the Roman Reigns hate stop? I mean, isn't it obvious that it's not Roman Reigns killing this business? It's the fact that you have guys like fuckboy Balor running around beating true stars, like Reigns, for example, like a year ago. Not only that, but pinning Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, a guy that's got the look, the charisma. He has, okay, you want to talk mic skills? Bray Wyatt is one of the best on the mic. This guy who can't talk. The line starts behind me. This goof, the only way that he could even get semi-over is by having 5-star matches and painting himself, you know. Like, that magic with the paint went away at SummerSlam when I realized the paint really is not doing anything. This guy just has zero charisma. So you could talk about that even. But you know, I guess from their opinion, that's what's right with wrestling. You know, forget about the fact that there's nobody charismatic or larger than life. You know, I was talking about the fact that a guy like Conor McGregor is as over as he is because he's a larger than life personality. And Conor McGregor is not that big. You know, he's 5'9", I believe. In the UFC, that's his height. And the thing is, he's got charisma to carry himself. There's nobody on the roster at that height. He's the same size as a Balor, the same size as any of the others. And none of them have that personality. The only person that's around that height is Enzo Amore. You know, but that guy's already in hot water. So, you know, he's not going to be like that. But I'm just saying it's an example. You know, you guys, you've got tiny guys who don't look like they could kick anyone's ass. They don't look tough. If you don't look tough and you don't even have a personality, how can you expect to get over? You know, you have to get yourself noticed. How do you think McGregor got himself noticed at that height? You know, he knows that he's not going to be renowned for, you know, being physically imposing. You know, he's not like intimidating looking. So what does he have to go by, you know, getting his personality, pumping it up, really making it known, put the glitz and glam out there. That's what makes him a star. Why do you think these other guys, nobody wants to watch them? Why do you think people are not tuning into 205 Live? They're not tuning into 205 Live because no one has a fucking personality. And when they do try to give a person a personality, it's a guy that looks like Jack Gallagher. You know, nobody wants to watch that pasty guy with no build, you know, fondling an umbrella. I mean, you know, so the thing is, when you try to go for charisma, they go about it in the wrong way. They're just not getting it right. I mean, try to study and see what's popular in pop culture. Why are people, you know, interested in a guy like McGregor, for example? You want to go for small guys? Okay, well, have them have personality. Them doing 500 suicide dives per night is not going to get them over. Meltzer Magoo giving the match 6.5 stars, giving it a solar system, giving it 2 Uranuses plus 10 Neptunes is not going to help the match, the wrestler get over. You know, that might work for ROH or the Indies, but we're talking about a prime time wrestling program. A program that is competing with, you know, you have pay-per-views on the network competing with The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. I mean, come on, you have Game of Thrones competing with SummerSlam. Don't be surprised if the number of people tuning in for SummerSlam is pretty damn low because, you know, they just can't compete with these popular shows because there's not enough going on that's good enough. And when you had a shitty build, SummerSlam might have been a pretty decent show, but the build was terrible. So who's going to watch the show? And plus, it's not even on pay-per-view. If you don't know about the network, you're not going to be able to see it. It might still be available on pay-per-view, but, you know, no one's going to be paying $70 to see a show that had bad build. So let's be perfectly honest. Anyway, bunch of losers on this video. You know, it's the same arguments you hear every day in the YWC, and it's getting tiresome already. You know, come up with some new arguments, guys. The question here is, do you really think that this company is doing well? And if, you know, if you're admitting that the company is not doing well and you're blaming it on Roman Reigns solely, then you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you could just see that guy saying, Braun Strowman is over. That's why people like him. Do you realize that leading up to Braun Strowman getting popular, who was he been in the feud with? Roman Reigns. Thanks to him pumping that guy up and making him look like $1 million, now people want to see the match between him and Brock Lesnar. So people should be on their hands and knees thanking Roman Reigns for being such a great partner. And you notice something else? Unlike Seth Rollins, unlike anybody else, Roman Reigns doesn't get himself injured. Roman Reigns doesn't injure anybody. Roman Reigns didn't injure Sting, didn't end his career. I don't remember that happening. Don't remember that at all. Funny that the guy who's ruining the business, he doesn't injure anybody, doesn't injure himself. Good in the ring. You know, I'm sure many people are going, oh, he's not working hard enough. Just because the guy doesn't fly over the top rope every single goddamn night, you know, that doesn't make him not good. I mean, people's perceptions, these marks, people you're seeing here in this video, their perception of, you know, what's good in wrestling and what the business needs is on a whole different wavelength than a lot of the others of people who were watching during the Attitude Era. People who were watching during the Attitude Era who really, you know, pumped WWE up in the ratings. What they want out of the company is totally different than what these people in this video want. They want the 5-star matches. They want it to feel like the Indies. The thing is, guys, I understand that most of the popular guys that you loved in the Indies are now in the WWE, but they can't treat this like the Indies, because if they do, this company's not going to last that much longer. Just saying. Anyway, guys, there's my little rant. There's my little reaction. Hope you enjoyed it. Roman Reigns haters, take a chill pill. Stop watching hentai for at least 2 minutes. Give yourselves a rest. Listen to my video. I guess you already did. Anyway, this is your YWC champion. Signing out.